Hello, my lovely spooky crew. I have missed you. It's been manic and busy. A very, very belated Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope that yours was wonderful and you're having the great start to your year that you wanted. I'm sure, like a lot of people, were very, very happy to see the back of 25. I don't think there was hardly anyone that it hasn't touched in a bad way. New Year's Eve was like the kicker to the end of a really bad year for us. We had to put our beautiful Staffy down. It was really fast acting cancer. It's one of those things where you go down and you because you don't know that it's cancer and you think everything's going to be fine and get sorted out and he'll be treated and he'll just be at the vets for a couple of days, or you'll be able to take him home that day, and then you're literally there and you're saying goodbye to him. But yes, that was a pretty crappy New Year's. He's in the spirit world running around free and happy and not in pain and with my brother, and yeah, so, you know. But anyhow, I'm here with shocking makeup. It's one of those things where you're trying something and I didn't have a definitive plan apart from the horseshoe and everything, which, they're mediocre, but they're okay. And I just thought I'll just try this stuff, because I've never really tried it apart from when I tried a little bit in the video that I did. Talking about one of the Barry M gift bags, and yeah, so the Freaky Clown Horror Show has come to talk to you once more and to hang out with you before she quickly does some horror show chores and shit, because the time is actually going on. It took a while to do things, so I would get as much done as I can on my day off. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to talk to you guys and we're going to enjoy it, and we're going to, well, hopefully enjoy it. And now I'm rambling. Anyway, welcome. I'm here. So, my lovely spooky crew, come close, settle in, get comfy. Welcome to another episode of Ghosts, Myths, and Legends. Are you sitting comfortably? Shall we begin? This is the tale of the blacksmith on a horse. Near the town of Shroud in Gloucestershire is a neat, square, pretty, well, very of the age Georgian style house called Nether Lypiatt. Again, pronunciations are not my favourite. I will put it in the description so you can Google it. I think it's like Nether Lypiatt. And it is here, obviously, which our tale takes place. The house was owned and built to the specifications of Judge Charles Cox, who was quite a mean person from all intents and purposes. I think he might have done some politics or something as well, and he sort of bribed and blackmailed to get his role and his position. So yeah, nice man. And he was very particular about things, and very just so, and it was the same with the house. He wanted it as much as he could with the rolling countryside that they were building the house to, but as near as they could. He wanted it to be the most sort of perfectly square house. And it is said by some that it is small but perfectly formed, like me. Now, this house has a magnificent iron-wrought fence and gorgeous iron-wrought gate, and it is this gate that is the main spotlight of our tale today. Now, you see, Cox had a case before him. It was a blacksmith who some people say they don't know what he was accused of. Some say it was murder. I'm not sure. But the judge came to him and said, if you make me a perfect set of wrought iron gates, I won't hang you. So the blacksmith, we know, agreed to this, but the judge also put in a stipulation that if he found anything, even the smallest flaw, you can imagine. So anyway, with the threat of death and hanging looming over the blacksmith. He worked and worked and hammered and did all the stuff that blacksmiths did for weeks, until finally he was done, and he was really sure and adamant that I have created the perfect set of wrought iron gates. You can't find better. I have done what he wanted. It's a great job. So the time came and the gates were put up and erected, and the judge came out and he looked at them and he looked again, and he said he found the smallest little flaw. Smallest little flaw. And so the blacksmith was hung. But before this happened, he cursed Cox, his house and lands. Legend goes that after this, Cox's son hung himself in the house, and that he is meant to roam around as a spirit, though there is no record of his death and that ever happening. It was said, especially after that, that Cox was considered dreadfully hateful to blacksmiths, but awfully fond of animals, and this is what all the townsfolk would say about him. Now, the only thing apparently that Cox really did love and was actually nice about, which is how the fond of animals and that comes about, is he had a horse called Wag, and he lived to a ripe old age, and he was really clever and much beloved, and apparently you could put your shopping lists from the house into the panniers on his saddle, and he'd trot off by himself into town, and people would come out because they got used to seeing him, and they would read the shopping list, put what they want, send him back to the house, and there you go. And there's even a bronze obelisk near the house, near the trees by the house, and it says, "My name was Wag that rolled the green, the oldest horse that ever was seen. My years they numbered 42. I served my master just and true." Now, here's the bit that you're here for, okay? Imagine it's the 25th of January, because this is when this takes place. And it is said that the ghost of the blacksmith and a pale horse ride to the manor, come down the, like, it's got like a little path thing, and they crash through that wrought iron gate. They are seen to open, and they literally do crash open, and you hear the blacksmith wailing out loud. The 25th of January was the day that he was unalived. They think the date is roughly around 1705, but again, these stories, sometimes the dates. Now, what gets me, and we all know that I'm a believer of this stuff, but you know, you've got to be slightly impartial sometimes, and throw up these comments and things that we can discuss if you want to of me, is the legend of the blacksmith riding on the horse. They say the horse is Wag. Now, this is where it throws me. Did the blacksmith haunt before Wag died, but it wasn't as noticeable or memorable because gates were just slightly crashing or just wailing? And so when the horse died, he thought, yeehaw, this will be great, and it'll make the haunting even better, and I'm sort of cursing the lands by haunting it. Did he wait for Wag to die so that he could convert him to his side and kind of corrupt the meaning and the love behind Wag and what the judge had for Wag, and it was sort of a good hoorah and kick up the arse because I've got your horse for all eternity, and every year we're going to ride through those gates? Or because he's a blacksmith and they would have worked around horses and stuff, did he just have a horse himself, or one that really liked him and he just used that for his haunting, and everyone just went, oh, it's Wag? That just throws me a little bit. Like, if Wag died so long after he died, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But anyway, I just thought it was a slightly different tale. The blacksmith riding on a horse and charging into the gates wailing. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for all the people that are so subscribing to me. Thank you to everyone watching. For everyone who likes and does all that jazz. If you carry on liking, subscribing, hit those ding-a-lings for me so I can slowly grow. It would be great. But thank you for spending whatever time you have free to watch me and hang out. You're so valued and so important. I hope you have a great day. I have to go back to the freak show, comic show. Comic show? I like comic show. Circus. Do some chores. Crack on so I look like I've done some shit on my day off. But as always, thank you. If you can't be good, be careful. And I will see you on the flip side, my lovely spooky crew. Goodbye.